How are y'all doing? Sorry, we're running. Warren, you gonna get some food back there?
I'm good right now, thank you.
So this is fine?
Yeah, you're good now.
Too far?
Your arm's hanging off right there.
Okay. Just want to give myself a little reminder marker.
Yeah, right there's good.
Okay. Oh man. Now I'm going to get a Coke.
You want me to tell him to go ahead and come in here and get food?
Go ahead and grab a plate and get yourself a drink. Hell, here. We're about as relaxed as they come. I'll be right back. Hello, a very quick test of the sound. She's checking it out for me in there. We'll get started in just a minute. Is that better now? Okay. It's still on the wrong speaker.
It's good enough.
Okay. I know we're going to have at least one person that's said that we're going to be doing it online. So we're trying to get everybody, get it situated where we still haven't got fancy yet, I guess. We've been doing this since October, I think, September. So quiet. Play music. Maybe one of those cool tech companies where it's always vague music. Yeah, energy drinks. Can I get anybody anything right now? Food, drink, napkins, etc. We had about 10 sign up, so I didn't want to start too on time because I know how I am, just as far as being late and whatnot. But what does anybody know what relationship marketing is? No, I didn't either, actually. What do you think it might be? Yeah. That's my beautiful wife just walking in. Here for the free food. We are. I'm not going to get started until they clear out, but relationship marketing is such an awkward term for me. It's really just yet another marketing catchphrase or whatever you want to call it that combines the different efforts that we're going to go through here in the presentation. But it's content marketing, it's social media marketing, it's phone calls, it's customer service, it's really everything. But we decided to go with relationship marketing, even though we don't necessarily talk about it here at WideNet, because it's February and it's the month of relationships. And you got to do what the marketing team tells you, apparently. Just going to make sure we're good. And Matt, you're going to hang in here, right? Okay. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead. I don't know if anybody else is going to come or not, but if they do, they can sneak in, and I'll have the presentation online, and the video will be online, and Matt, our talented writer, will be putting some little mini videos together that we've started doing. We call them, it's a podcast. It's a video podcast. It's short little videos that we put online ultimately, but we're going to be doing little snippets of this type of content, and we'll talk about that as well when we get into the content section of this, but little snippets that will also be available and go right along with what we're saying here. So relationship marketing. So what is relationship marketing? I actually didn't know this GIF was going to move. It's the only one I could find. It is not, hey, how you doing, from Joey from Friends. I thought that was a good little clip. I just asked a little preemptively, what is relationship marketing? What do we think that it is? And again, it's just a way of changing the intent of what you're doing, not necessarily the activity that you're engaging in order to market your company or your organization of any kind. So it is a form of marketing developed specifically to emphasize customer retention and satisfaction rather than focus on sales. It still results in an increased bottom line, but it does so without the direct marketing efforts of, say, targeted ads, commercials, radio ads, things like that. It brings the value of each sale and of each client to light. We call it the lifetime value of a customer, by saying, okay, yes, I sold this one, and I'm going to use us as an example. I sold a company a website, and there's X amount of dollars in that, and we could measure that. But the real way to look at that is to truly consider the lifetime value of that customer. How many redesigns are we going to get out of that customer if we properly take care of them? How many extra services are we going to get? And I'm going to get ahead of myself. I do tend to do this, but how many extra things can we gain and build that relationship, build that value in terms of the efforts of marketing between us and or your company and everybody you're trying to reach. So it doesn't exclude the other channels, email and content marketing, in favor of social media. Everybody seems to assume like, oh, I've got to build a relationship, and the only way to do that is on Facebook or Twitter or some other way. I've got to go to the Chamber of Business after hours. Those all come into play. But social media has been one of those things that it's hard to get your boss or your company or our clients on board with. It's a hard sell right now, because you've got a generation of people that go, why would anybody want to know what I ate for lunch? Twitter's stupid, right? That's why would I take pictures of food and put it on Instagram? That's all they do on there. It's of no real use for a business. And there are some facts in what they're saying. You go on Instagram, you're going to get a lot of pictures of food. You go on Twitter, you're going to get a lot of random thoughts. Those are particular platforms, but you can also build, and we've talked about this for those that have been here before, you can build communities around hashtags. You can build groups within Twitter, within LinkedIn, around different ideas, and you can connect with these people and create segmented lists and groups and build those relationships that way. So social media is very important, but as you'll see as we go down, it's got to make its way into every different aspect of your organization, not just from the marketing team. So transactional marketing is your standard marketing. That's a flyer, a mail out, a Facebook ad, an ad on TV, a radio spot. These are things that are intrusive. Don't you hate it when you go to a website and, geez, the worst would be if this is the website, there's a little bar at the top, and as you start to move your mouse, it goes, and it starts to come down, and you're like, I can't get rid of that. And so all you want to do is find the X, and you immediately hate whoever is on that ad. You hate them. You're not going to click it. Intrusive used to be the way. Okay, I could do a whole discussion just on content marketing, so I'm going to try to pare that down. But intrusive, and they're unavoidable. Again, it's coming down your screen. It pops up right in the middle, and the rest of it goes black. They can be useful as long as you have derived the intent of the visitor. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm not saying never have a billboard. Billboards are a waste. I'm saying consider the value of a billboard, or how you could bring the message of the billboard into your full marketing campaign. What would that billboard drive people to click onto your website, to get an email, to send an email, to sign up for an email? Hey, come on in. You can grab a plate back there and get whatever you need. Make yourself at home. So transactional versus relational. Again, transactional marketing is the straight up direct sales. It's in the way. Relationship marketing, don't you like my fancy things there? Relationship creates increased word of mouth activity, repeat business, and a willingness on the customer's part to provide information to the organization. Fact, and I want to say I'm jumping ahead. I really don't remember. People don't want to see your marketing. Do you even see the Google ads on the right side of the search anymore, unless you're having a really hard time finding what you're searching for? Do you even see the little square ads on the right side of Facebook? They've become so commonplace and so consistent in their placement of content that we've learned very quickly to stop looking at them, to definitely not click on them unless it's built some sort of oh man, what is that called? Where you're retargeting. We talked about that last time, where you've just gone to Amazon, you were browsing brooms, and now I'm on Facebook and you see brooms in your ads on the right on Facebook. That's called retargeting, and it is an exceptional way of reminding you what you were just looking at. Being reminded of something is fine. Saying, hey, do you want a dog, when you are not a dog person, that's not okay, or that nobody wants that anyway. With relationship marketing, you are genuinely getting permission from the client because they've come to you. Your content has been shared. Your name has been shared by word of mouth, by Facebook, by Twitter, by an email forwarding. Then they sign up for your list. They like your page. They follow your Twitter account, or they've become your client, and now you are engaged with them on the phone or in some other way. Invoices, everything you do is marketing. The truth is, and this is where I jump just a touch ahead, the relationship marketing process has nothing to do with engagement and everything to do with being practically useful for your business and customers. When you think about the things that you're looking at online, one of my absolute favorite blogs is Help Scout. It's a great one. You should go to helpscout.net. We actually use Help Scout, and I may have mentioned it before, but we use Help Scout as our ticketing system. So when you send an email to support@widenetconsulting.com, it goes in Help Scout. Well, that's their product. They have a service. We signed up for it. We pay them monthly. It helps us manage our support so that it's not going to individual people. Love their service. Now, unassociated with that, or I guess in a relational way, associated with that, they have a blog. And on that blog, they're constantly giving you customer support ideas and marketing ideas and relationship marketing ideas. I got a decent amount of what we're talking about here from Help Scout, from Gary Vaynerchuk, and quite a few other sources. And I'll be glad to link those on the WideNet U page later. Help Scout is the best. They have an email campaign. It's like maybe 2-3 times a week you'll get an email, but it's a very short email, and all they're doing is giving, just giving and giving and giving. Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my favorite authors, calls it jabbing. Jab, 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 right hook is his most recent book. The jabs are the little, hey, do you want this? Hey, can I give you this? You want to read this content? This looks helpful for you. Here's 10 tips on how to sell your house. And then when you've built it and you've earned the right to sell, you come in with the right hook and you say, hey, will you buy my book? Interest rates have gone down. You should get a loan with us, whatever your industry might be. Sign up for our magazine, sign up for this or that. You can only ask when you've earned the right to ask. And you can't assume because it's an email, because it's Facebook, that you get to skip the normal relationship stages. You have to earn it, or they don't believe you. Be practically useful. So how are we going to implement this? These are the 4 steps: customer service, content marketing, social media marketing, and email marketing. We're going to run through them. Grab a quick drink. So customer service. This is pretty simple, but it is essential. No matter how big your company is, your customer service has to be ingrained into the complete culture. Everybody here knows that we take care, we hold hands, we do everything we can to make the process of getting a website or doing whatever it is they want us to do as easy as possible. It's not a turnkey approach and just, oh, there you go. Good luck with that. We genuinely try to hold that hand and to consistently support, answer the phone call very quickly. Rackspace, the company we host at, is also a great model for building a business on the foundation of great customer support. We pay $500-600 roughly for a server that I could get at GoDaddy for $100 a month. The reason we do that is they answer the phone in person. A person answers the phone that's in Texas after 3 rings, before 3 rings actually. Within 2 minutes of them answering the phone, I'm online with a level 2 Linux certified Red Hat engineer. They're already into my computer, my server, and they're already fixing it. At GoDaddy, you do not get that. So I have all of my customers on this one server, and the last thing I want to do is for that to go down or have an issue and have to spend 5 hours on the phone with GoDaddy to maybe or maybe not get any resolution. I will gladly pay more. Customer service is 100% so something you can add to your cost, and people most of the time will gladly pay extra for exceptional customer support. use a comprehensive CRM. This is one of the things that a CRM is essential to your entire marketing strategy. A CRM enables you to keep up with everybody that you've got, from cold lead to really hot, they come to my website all the time, or they've contacted me, they've called me, to a current client, to lost clients. And before the lost client stage, you've got what we call evangelists. An evangelist being somebody that is actively going out and saying, these people know what they're doing. This is a great company. I'm an evangelist for Help Scout. I've already told you about them. I've told everybody that I know to go to that blog, to read that blog, that this is the model that I want to emulate. A CRM helps you maintain, measure, and track absolutely all of those stages. And more importantly, it's essential to the email and the social media marketing and the touch points, so that you know that 60 days hasn't gone by without you at least saying, hey, how you doing? Is there anything we can do to help you? I'm glad that you're happy. And sadly to say, for a long time, the quiet customer here at WideNet was our favorite, because they weren't complaining and they were still sending the check, and that's just not true anymore. There's no value in that other than that one little check. You've lost what we talked about just a minute ago. You've lost the right to ask for the sale if all you're doing is collecting that check and moving on. So we're trying to grow that here, and we have been over the last 2 years. Content marketing. So you are what you publish. Show your audience why they should do things, what things they could be doing, and how they should do them. Content marketing is expansive, it's deep, but it's a long game approach. A lot of this is a long game approach. You're not going to come out of the gate, hit the ground running with content marketing and relationship marketing, other than the immediate things that you can implement, like customer service. Content marketing is essential on so many levels. SEO is dead, is the thing right now. It's now instead of search engine optimization, it's web presence optimization. You have to create content. You have to have things for people to share, things for people to read, to validate that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing. We're in the process of creating, of course, we have WideNet U. Why do we do this? Why do we feed people, get them to come down here and do things like this? Because what's the value of having potential customers come to your place? How much do you have to pay Google AdWords just to get them to potentially see your link, to potentially click on it? Training seminars, webinars, useful white papers and documentations. And if you come to our website, we can assume you're looking for marketing stuff. And I don't mean to harp on us at all. I'm going to change companies here just a little bit. Let's say you're a bank. Let's say you're AOD. What's the value of having your customers constantly coming to your site because they know they're going to get all the things that you want from a bank? They're going to get blogs on the best way to save for retirement. What's better, a 401k or a simple IRA for me? Should I be looking at in December, or should I be looking in June for mortgage rate increases? When should I refinance? How do I build my credit? All of these are great articles. They are indexed by Google. Google loves local. AOD's local. How do I raise my credit score? AOD's local, and they've indexed it. They've written the keywords properly, and it's been shared a few times and linked. They're going to start coming up for that on local based searches. Who can I ask locally to help me raise my credit score? These are the kind of things that help build your SEO, your web presence optimization. You have to have all of these in place to have true SEO results. You are what you publish. People don't believe you unless they have something to look at. That's the difficulty in proposals. That's the difficulty in your website. Start by creating content for support. If you don't have a team, time, money, whatever it might be, to just create fun, useful things like tips, then save yourself the time by writing content that answers the questions that you're always being asked. It used to be called a knowledge base. We have WideNet U, and we're creating a section of our website that basically WideNet U will become a dictionary definitions and stuff like that. You are very simply, very easily able to create reusable content that can be shared, that can be whatever it might be. That's the simplest way to get going. HubSpot does an excellent job of that. They call it the HubSpot Academy. It's full documentation on how to use their service. And amidst all the documentation, every once in a while, it's a great article. And sometimes they segment it by categories, but it's a great article about why this works and how you can implement it at your company. They'll thank you for coming to your site. The number of times I've gone to Help Scout's website or Rackspace's blog to find out about new tech, new customer service methodologies, so things that we can implement here. My goal when I read a blog or a book even is one nugget of truth. If I can get one thing that I can implement and just make a small incremental adjustment in the way that we're doing things, then that's success. And Help Scout delivers basically every time. Rackspace does quite often. And we hope that we do as well as we continue to grow our efforts and the efforts for our clients. They'll literally thank you. They'll go on there, they'll comment, they'll share it, they'll grab the URL and they'll send the email off to their friend like, hey, you were just complaining about this. Here's how to do this. Oh, you want to build that thing in your backyard? Here's a great article on how to build that thing. You know, there's every different way of solving a problem. It's like the movie Robots for kids. Find a need, fill a need, he said. I don't know, anybody saw that? It's a cartoon, it's funny. You should watch it. Social media marketing, a place of mystery, build relationships and trust. So it's about getting to know who your audience is. The difficulty with social media marketing, especially using Facebook, is they keep changing the rules on you. You have to use Facebook. You have to be on Twitter. You have to be on LinkedIn if you genuinely want to be everywhere and you want to have your content shared and pushed. But you've got to respond when somebody comes to you. You've got to be monitoring it. You can't just put up a page, throw out 3 or 4 links to some old content that you wrote on your website, and then expect it to work. If I go to a page, and I'm sure, you know, if you put on some empathy and go and you look at the way that you handle pages, they haven't posted since 2013. Okay, I'm not, why would I even like this page? Yeah, I like Coke, but if Coke's not posting ever, then I'm not going to bother clicking like. You know, it's useless. You have to build the trust. You have to respond, and you build that trust by building the content and linking to that content and teaching them how and why and what to do. This to me is the coolest thing. We've just started implementing this for some of our clients and for ourselves, and it's like the new version of cold calling. It works on generating leads and closing sales, but it also works on client retention and they call it client nurturing. Email drip campaigns. We use a company right now. We're building our own and should be done soon. But we use a company called SendBloom. And SendBloom enables us to very quickly and easily set up steps, basically. So let me give you an example. A new client comes in, or not a new client, you get a contact that you know is interested in, and they're in your CRM, they're considered cold at best, lukewarm lead, and you want to throw them into your email drip campaign. You've got it pre-set up. It pulls from the list based on your category of, you know, a scale of 1 to 10. Anybody that's a 2 or less, consider them a cold lead and throw them in this campaign. And the campaign starts out on day 1, send them an email. Send them an email that says, thanks for signing up. Here's some content. How can we help you? Here's a little bit about what we do. 7 days later, automatically send them another email. 2 weeks later, automatically send them this email. You've already written these 10, these 20 emails. All you have to do is properly categorize them, tweak them, And it, with SendBloom specifically, it actually runs through your email address, email account. So when we use SendBloom, Mike in there, our accounts executive, when he drops somebody in there, it comes from Mike. And that's why it doesn't get caught in spam. This is not a newsletter. This is not bulk mail. This is not spam. Spam is defined by email that was unsolicited and an email that was sent in bulk. These are not sent in bulk. These are sent 50 at a time at most. You're individually, it's going in there automatically, pre-filling the name, pre-filling your company, whatever. But you have a campaign so that you don't have to remember every little step, every contact, yet it comes off as personal. If it's a cold lead, then you're going to say, hey, are you the right person for me to contact? If you're not, could you tell me who is? And then just like in a normal email, you continue that thread. Hey, don't know if you got my last email, and you have logic built in too. Did they see it? Did they open it? No, then send this email. Did they open it and just not respond? Then send this email. Did they open it and click? Then send this email. Hey, saw you went to our website. Is there anything we can help you with? I'd love to have somebody give you a call soon. And then as it goes down, you might have it, instead of sending them an email, sending your sales or your customer support team an email that says, you need to call this person. We're about to lose this sale, or they're hot right now. You need to call them and try to make the sale. It can be complicated. It can be simple, but the most important thing is that it's automated. And that's where having a solid CRM comes in. But does it really work? It's been proven that, and you know this, if you think about it empathetically, when you love a brand, you'll pay more. You're not going to be swayed because you're invested in the company. You're invested in the knowledge that you've gained, yes, and obviously there are barriers to entry if it's a specific thing. Coke versus Pepsi. I love Diet Coke. I really don't like Pepsi, but there's zero barrier to entry for me to go buy a Pepsi instead of a Coke. This isn't necessarily about something like that. This is about making sure that they're not swayed by another marketing agency, or that they're constantly coming back for your consistent, useful, and beneficial knowledge that you're giving out for the area agency on aging, something along those lines, where you're helping people learn to take care of the elderly, whatever that might be. They're going to consistently come back to you. A government agency is not necessarily here to make a sale, but they're here to get the eyeballs. The more eyeballs, the more sales that are made, the more they can report back, the more funding they're going to get, the more success that they have in their end game goal. It's the foundation of word of mouth. When you have the work, I'm telling you about Help Scout, I'm telling you about Rackspace. I kind of down GoDaddy, though I love them for their domain names because they're so cheap. It genuinely is the foundation of word of mouth, and I don't know necessarily what level of role that you each have in your companies, but if you are the person that's going to be out there trying to make the sale, if you're the one at the business after hours in the networking, they're going to have heard of you when you've invested in peers that other people run in contact with. Strong relationships are essential. And what I'm saying here, a high net promoter score, I don't know, anybody know what that is? Are we familiar with that at all? A net promoter score is, I want to say it's 1 to 10, but it's a standardized score that you can get done and ranked on, where you are implementing customer service and retention and support and good products and good services. So if somebody has a high net promoter score, that's not necessarily an external thing where we're going to announce we have a 10 out of 10. It's something that internally, because you're in charge of it or concerned about it, where you can go and say, all right, look, our net promoter score is a 6 right now, and we know we've set a KPI, we've set a goal, we need to be at an 8. So now you have to figure out the ways to make the adjustments to get that score up. It's more of an internal thing than an external thing, but it's exceptionally important. Again, jumping back to the customer service part, your regulars are your rock. Consumer data reveals that regular customers spend more and are less expensive to maintain. Every time you come out with a new service, a new product, you come out with a new pamphlet, a brochure, or you want to push, you have data on these people. Thanks. It's a win. Good time to drink. You have data, hopefully, in your CRM. One of the things we're going to try to do in our CRM that's different than the others, and if it ever launches, is we're going to try to make sure that you know the way that we think. What's beneficial about knowing this particular client's favorite football team, or their kid's name, or their kid's birthday, or that they're married or not married? You wouldn't necessarily think that I need to know that stuff, but when you want to go close a sale and it's going to be worth it, and you show up with a Nick Saban signed football because they're a big Alabama fan. Actually, one of my best friends last night, Michael Cannon, works for Earthlink. He had a really funny story about them going. He's a network engineer. He's a nerd like me, and he works with the sales team. They're out trying to make a sale, and Mike's just, we're going to run this wire here. We're going to do this. We're going to hook all this stuff up. It's Cisco. It's all, and he's just naming all these technical reasons why he's done all this great stuff, and it's going to be just incredible for them, and everything's going to get better for this big company. I want to say they're in Texas, but I really don't know. Maybe Montgomery. I have no idea. But he got very frustrated because all that happened, and the guy's just like, and then the salesperson he's with goes, "Well, look, I got you a football signed by Gus Malzahn." They loved him. They got the deal. Earthlink is now got a super client that's probably going to go around and continue the word of mouth and spread it. Like, I love these guys. Why do you love them? I don't know. They got me a football. That was really cool. And they remember my wife's name. It's the little things. It is relationships that we have to depend on when we're going out and we're marketing, when we're trying to expand our services. You can have everything right. And it's true in an interview. It's true in just about everything in life. You can have everything right when you're sitting in a job interview, and maybe one little statement is the difference between you and somebody else. Like, you just said something that made me feel like you're not going to be around this area for more than 6 months. So I'm going to go with this one who I know is stable, and they're going to be here. Otherwise, you're even. You never know the little thing that's going to push you over the tipping point. And those kind of things are found through the building of relationships. They're organized and made available through a CRM or something like that. If you have to, you can go through a basic Excel sheet or something. Even QuickBooks keeps up with your contacts to some degree. Expansion becomes easier. Think about Apple. I mean, honestly. Every July, everybody's talking about the new iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone S, 6S. They've created a culture, a group, a fanatical fan base around themselves because they invested in making the experience of doing business with them and getting service done with them so exceptional. This goes back to 2001. I got a MacBook Pro 17-inch, beautiful, very thin laptop. About 3 months later, and you're talking about thousands of dollar laptop. I got it through work. I was a broke college student at the time. But within 3 months, the little latch, when you close it, it had a magnetic latch, and it would just pop off. It would never stay closed, and so it always would come back on. I called up Apple, and within 1 day, the very next day, I had a box that was beautiful. It was kind of ridiculous. And I put my laptop in there. I mailed it back. It was prepaid, obviously, next day shipping. Got there 2 days later, I had a fixed laptop back. And I told everybody I knew about that because they made the experience exceptional. Not the geek squad, the geniuses at the Apple store. The whole experience of doing business with Apple is incredible. And they focus so hard on the user experience on the phones that when you go from an iPhone, because I've done this, I'm a nerd. When you go from the iPhone to the Android phone and you scroll and that Android phone starts jerking just a little bit and pausing, you just miss the beauty of the iPhone, even if it won't necessarily do absolutely everything the Android will. Expansion becomes easier. If you've got an iPhone, obviously you're going to look at the Mac. You're going to look at the App Store. If you're doing business with us, it's easier for us to ask you about our services. And the same with you. If you buy a car at Benton Nissan, you're more likely, if well maintained, to do your service there. Everything becomes easier. You avoid the cost of acquisition. This is very well known. Everybody knows this. It's cheaper to keep a customer than it is to go out and get a customer or a set of eyeballs if you're a nonprofit, whatever it might be. That's just an easy fact. Relationship marketing really, truly helps you maintain the eyeballs, in which case they don't get swayed by the competition and you get to keep them. So thank you for attending this. What I wanted to do, I know I'm ending it just a little bit quickly, but what I wanted to do was see if you had not just questions, but can I walk through with you and your company and see how maybe we could implement relational marketing or relationship marketing here. So does anybody want to go with that?
I think it would be good
For Supply Room? So Supply Room is, God, they make everything, promotional products and uniforms and all that. So they have a big service and support area. I know that they have a focus on support, but taking that to the next level, actually, I spoke with Tim over there. Everywhere you go now, it used to get frustrating that you had that little chat thing that would pop up. Hey, do you want sales to chat with you right now? But I've gotten almost to the point that when I go to a site and I actually want to call or find out about a price or something and it's not there, then I'm annoyed because it's so much easier just to go, hey, what's the price on this? And I'll have somebody call you, or I need help with this. Can you just help me? And they'll just respond back, or they'll send me a link to their content that they've created as a marketing tool, that solves my problem. So I suggested to Tim and to Grant over there, you need to get your girls out there responding to chats when people have trouble during the checkout process on the website. And Grant said, that sounds great. I don't honestly know where we are on that, but that's, I think, an exceptional way to build a relationship. What's the problem right now? These tools, Olark is one of them, olark.com, O-L-A-R-K. It actually enables you to see the page that they're looking at. I mean, it's not that hard because it's a website, so it's just telling you the URL that they're looking at, but it'll bring it up in the little interface and it'll say, I'm having trouble with this. This is what I'm seeing. This is what's happening. And you're able to say, well, you should go here. And you click, and then it clicks for them. So their screen changes and you can get them to the right place. Or you can say, oh, yeah, there's a bug right now. I don't know what's going on, but your shopping cart is just not going to work. But it's saved in our system locally. We'll take a look at it and I'll have somebody give you a call. Simple little thing. It costs $60 a month. Maybe even $50 a month to implement that for 5 people across your organization. I want to say it's free, or like $10 a month for one person. If you're only going to have one, or maybe it's a shared one, something like that. You can always rig it up to get a little bit more when you're a smaller company. So I think that's a great way of doing that, along with everything else. Did you have one? I'm sorry. I thought I saw you were going to raise your hand on that. I'm Chris. Everybody knows me. I assume. Let's take just a second and do some relationship marketing and get to know everybody. Go ahead and introduce.
My name is Warren Spector. I grew up in Jacksonville. I was in Atlanta for 20 some odd years and had a chance to come back here and kind of semi-retire. Did a lot of fishing.
Go ahead, Liz.
Lee Buchanan, I grew up in Jacksonville. I graduated from JSU with BFA in graphic design and I'm a graphic design at Spartan, and both of my masters.
Excuse me, what is your business again, sir?
I'm self-employed.
Okay. Well, my name is Samuel Johnson. I'm the owner of My Faith Apps, a Christian-based app store. We focus on Christian games, books, music, you name it. If it's Christian oriented, we have it in our store. So we kind of like the Android and iPhone Christian market.
That's interesting.
My favorite, what?
My Faith Apps.
So do you make that? You create?
Yes, I create apps just now for churches.
All right.
Okay.
This is my wife, but I'll let her introduce herself as well.
I'm Adrienne Williams. I work at Benton Nissan. I'm their owner loyalty manager, customer service, whatnot. And I'm married to Linda.
I'm Diane Flynn. I work for the East Alabama Regional Planning and Development Commission. I believe our aging side is
Yeah.
a client. I'm on the other side. I'm on the planning and development side.
Okay.
And we have, of course, we provide a service, and it's not exactly what you would call a sale, but we are dependent on the relationships we have with our units of local government. And in this transition from all paper to all technology, we are having some difficulty, coming up with a way to stay in touch with our units of local government without, you have, changes in administration, you have changes in employees. There's services that we offer that some of them know about and others don't. And it used to be that we actually went, the whole group and went to these places. And these days with the budget constraints and the increased workload, we're just having trouble figuring out a way to keep up with our units of local government without having to be at every council and commission meeting within 10 counties every month, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
We do have a webpage, we do have some information out there on Facebook. Our biggest problem is we don't have a person maintaining that information.
Okay.
And I frankly don't know how many of our units of government even, we still have some that don't have internet. And so, yeah, I mean, really. So we kind of have a hodgepodge of situations that we don't quite know how to keep handling.
That'd be an interesting obstacle and situation to get to be involved in to solve that problem. I love solving problems like that, especially using tech as a programmer. You can usually find a solution. It's just a matter of knowing all the different areas
Yeah.
to be able to pull it together.
Some of us are more technologically savvy than others, and, it's not only the units of local government that have issues with technology, it's actually some of the employees as well. So, yeah, it's a mix that we're really trying to find a solution.
Okay. We'll go on back one.
My name's Ashley Baker. I graduated from JSU with a degree in communications, and I'm currently the marketing coordinator at West Marketing Village. Christina Dorn with Grace Episcopal Church in Anniston, and I, along with WideNet, update our website and post across 4 different social media platforms and direct children's programs at Grace Church. So 2 part-time jobs, they're completely different, but that's what I do.
Very nice. Well, it's funny when you're talking about marketing, because it's very easy to get off into customers and sales and products, but I would say at least half of our clients are either agencies, government, or nonprofits, just something other than somebody with a product out there. And like anything else, we try to include that thought process into what we're teaching, but also what we're teaching internally. That's one of the things we talked about, customer service. You need to invest in your staff so that they understand and maintain the same strict values that you have for your support and the message that you want to come across. Everything from your invoices to your bulletins and to your apps, to your app store appearance, to the follow-up emails. And I know that you guys send out, Web sends out newsletters all the time, and to a nonprofit or government agency that is dealing with trying to educate people on aging or on the development commission around here, because until Randy started coming around, Randy Frost, I had no idea what in the world they even did. I just knew they were very busy doing something and responsible for those little black strips on the road.
People ask me where I work, and I tell them, and I say, did that help you? And he said, no.
Nope. Right. But it's that dissemination of knowledge that garners not just understanding, but the relationship and everything that we're talking about. As far as apps go, I mean, the way that you would build a relationship around your apps is, of course, coming to something like this, shaking hands, gripping and grinning, and doing the normal stuff. But then what if you were to get everybody here's card, their email, their phone number? What if you were able to go online and get every church their secretary email or whatever it might be, the pastor's email? They all put it on there. I've been in paid ministry before. It's everywhere. It's not that hard to come by. You get that, you put them in an email drip campaign, and you're just saying, hey, we have an app store that sells apps specifically for the ministry. I really think it would be beneficial for your congregation and your members. And you just start rolling that out. Hey, I didn't see, maybe I've got the wrong person for this. You know, I'm not seeing that you opened it. Can I help you in any way? And then maybe 6 steps down the line, instead of sending them an email, send you an email like, okay, this person, this is obviously the wrong email address in person. You should call this church. So then you can limit the amount of time you're spending on the phone versus the amount of time that you're calling a bunch of people that may or may not have opened the email. If they've opened the email and they clicked it and they went to your site, and then you can assume I can follow up with them a different way. Now I can say, now that you've been to the site, or maybe you've got that chat app on there and you've already talked to them. So, and that very, very simply and easily runs into lead magnets and target audiences and the whole gamut of things that I could talk about that I don't want to talk about today because my throat hurts now. I see like eyes dripping just a little bit. But if you have any questions, if you need any advice, that's what we're here for. That's what this is for. I know, again, that a lot of times we'll talk about sales and products, but be more than happy to sit down with you and talk. Send me an email. If anybody watches this now or in the future online, send us an email, give us a call. We'll talk, free consultation, as they say. It's not that. It's that we want to see if we can find a solution to your problem. And if we can, but it's not us, we'd still love to tell you the direction to go there. We have people that come to us, and this is another thing, a really good example. When somebody comes to us and they say, we want a website, I'm just starting out, and we go, well, these are our prices and our methods and why, this is why we charge what we charge. They go, it's $9 on GoDaddy, I can get it for free. And we say, well, don't go to GoDaddy because those suck. Sorry, but go to squarespace.com. We understand you're not at the point in your business that we're the right solution for you, but I'm going to give you some really good advice. Don't go to GoDaddy for your website. Go get your domain there. That's fine. But go to squarespace.com or shopify.com for your store or something along those lines, because it's no setup. It's $10. It's really hard to make your site look ugly. They have a lot of templates you can start with that are beautiful, and then you're just swapping out some images. It's a great way to get started. Squarespace, they've grown quite substantially. They also do a great job of content marketing, but they've grown so much that they had a Super Bowl ad, the one with, what was the guy's name? The actor, it doesn't matter. Yes, no, yes, I don't know. Jeff Bridges maybe, where he's like inside of himself and he's a tiger. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, I don't know. You would know it if you saw it anyway. It's weird. So, but they're obviously doing very well if they have a Super Bowl ad. We suggest people go there when they can't use us. We suggest a lot of different things. We get people that call us about Outlook. The gut instinct might tell you, or Word. I can't get this presentation to work right. We're your web host. You know, we have nothing to do with your ability to put a PowerPoint together so you can present next week. That has nothing to do with what you pay us for. But we still help them. We still answer the questions and we walk them through it. We don't go, this isn't our problem. I'm so sorry, click. You know, that's horrible. You will lose that business in a heartbeat, even if technically the ROI on helping somebody fix a PowerPoint is zero. The trust and the guidance that you give will always come back to you. And that's the foundation of relationship marketing. Not engaging with the person, that's direct transactional sales. It's getting them to come to you. So with that being said, if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you.